Hello and welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, don't forget to hit the subscribe button to enjoy more crisis management and operational resilience content. Today we're diving into an essential topic, crisis management. Whether you're a business leader, part of an emergency response team, or simply interested in understanding how organizations handle unexpected disruptions, this video is for you. We'll walk through the key concepts, principles, and frameworks that form the backbone of effective crisis management. First, let's define what crisis management is. Crisis management is the process by which an organization prepares for, responds to, and recovers from a crisis or disruptive event. A crisis could be anything from a natural disaster like a hurricane to something more specific like a cyber attack, a financial scandal, or even a product recall. The goal of crisis management is to protect the organization, minimize harm, and ensure a swift recovery. Now let's talk about the crisis management lifecycle. This lifecycle helps organizations structure their approach to dealing with a crisis. It typically has 4 stages. 1. Prevention and mitigation. 2. Preparedness. 3. Response. 4. Recovery. Let's break these down one by one. The first stage is prevention and mitigation. This is all about reducing the likelihood of a crisis happening in the first place and minimizing its potential impact. Preventative measures might include implementing strong cybersecurity protocols, conducting regular safety drills, or ensuring compliance with regulations. In essence, the goal here is to identify risks and take proactive steps to avoid or reduce them. Next, we have preparedness. Even with the best prevention measures in place, crises can still occur. That's why preparedness is key. This phase involves creating crisis management plans, training staff, and conducting simulations. A well-prepared organization knows exactly what to do when a crisis strikes. This is where you identify roles, establish communication channels, and ensure resources are in place. Now let's move to the response phase. This is when the crisis is actually happening. The response phase is critical because it sets the tone for recovery. Here you must act quickly, communicate effectively, and make decisions under pressure. The response is often managed by a crisis management team who are trained to deal with high-pressure situations. The key during this phase is to contain the crisis, minimize damage, and ensure the safety of everyone involved. Finally, we come to recovery. After the immediate crisis has passed, the recovery phase focuses on getting the organization back to normal operations. This could involve repairing damaged infrastructure, restoring services, or rebuilding public trust. Recovery can take time, and it's important to monitor the long-term effects of the crisis to ensure full recovery. Now that we understand the crisis life cycle, let's talk about the principles of crisis management. These are the fundamental values that guide decision-making throughout each stage of the life cycle. First, communication is key. Clear, consistent, and transparent communication with interested parties, whether that's employees, customers, or the public, can make a huge difference. In fact, poor communication is one of the most common reasons crises escalate. Organizations should set up communication plans that include designated spokespersons, internal communication channels, and timely updates. Next is leadership and decision-making. During a crisis, strong leadership is crucial. Crisis management requires leaders who can stay calm, make tough decisions quickly, and coordinate responses effectively. The key here is decisiveness and a focus on what's best for the organization's survival and long-term reputation. Third, flexibility and adaptability are essential. Crises rarely unfold exactly as planned, so a rigid approach just won't work. A successful crisis management strategy allows for flexibility in responding to new developments and adjusting the plan as needed. Finally, we have continuous learning. Every crisis offers valuable lessons. Organizations should conduct post-crisis reviews to evaluate what went well and what could have been improved. This feedback loop helps strengthen future crisis management efforts. Now let's talk about the crisis management framework. A framework is a structured approach to managing crises that provide clear guidance on what to do at each stage of the life cycle. A typical crisis management framework includes the following components. 1. Crisis identification, recognizing the early signs of a crisis and determining whether it requires a response. 2. Crisis communication, establishing clear communication channels and strategies to ensure the message is consistent and effective. 3. Crisis response, formulating action plans to manage the immediate impact and mitigate the effects of the crisis. 4. Crisis recovery, working towards restoring normal operations, protecting reputation, and addressing any lingering effects. To summarize, crisis management is all about preparing for, responding to, and recovering from disruptions. Understanding the crisis management life cycle, prevention and mitigation, preparedness, response, and recovery gives you a roadmap for managing any crisis. The core principles of communication, leadership, adaptability, and learning will guide you through each stage. And having a well-structured crisis management framework helps ensure a coordinated and effective response. We hope this introduction to crisis management has been helpful. Remember, no organization is immune to crises, but with the right strategies in place, you can navigate them successfully. If you found this video valuable, please like, share, and leave a comment below with your thoughts or any questions you have. And of course, don't forget to subscribe for more content. Until next time, stay resilient.